All right, so a lot of the kids back to school this week, a lot heading back to school next week, and one of the things that will likely happen is that sometime over the year, there's usually the Lice Squad that comes to take a visit. Paula Nason's joining us. She's Lice Squad Ottawa. She's a franchise owner here. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
And I have to say, I used to love it, actually, sitting in class when you guys would come, and there's a little tickle, and it felt really good for a minute or two. But there's a lot more to lice than just having a little tickle on your head.
Yes.
Would you say there's a lot to understand about it?
A lot to understand, and a lot in the treatments.
Okay. Now, the treatments go far beyond what we had normally thought about in terms of just heading in and trying to find all the right shampoos and then pretty much cleaning out the house. Want to take us through some of the interesting machines that you have and what they do for the lice? Sure.
This machine was introduced to Canada about 3 years ago. It's a medical device, and Lice Squad Canada is the distributor and the licensed user of this machine. We use it in our clinic here in Ottawa. The Louse Buster actually is a mechanism that blows air that is a regulated flow with a heat that stays constant, but it's not too hot. It's a very drying heat. So essentially what it does, the bugs and the eggs have a very high moisture content. So essentially what it does is it dehydrates them, and it has a 99% kill rate on the eggs, which is pretty phenomenal because to date, any topical treatments that you use on your head don't actually kill the eggs. So this is quite revolutionary.
So it's that parent gets that dreaded call that that their child has lice. That would be a great first stop in terms of just trying to get right down to the root right away.
Exactly. It will really cut back on a lot of time that parents need to be doing subsequent treatments on their children.
What happens then after that? Because there's a lot of things to do around the house, if I'm aware.
Actually, the house isn't as bad as people make it out to be. What we always say is spend your time on the head, not the house. Lice actually die within a 48-hour time frame if they're not getting a blood meal off of somebody's head. They actually dehydrate quite rapidly. So they will die off very quickly. So as far as your home goes, when there's actual crawling bugs, you need to be working on your environment for preventative measures. So you're going to want to vacuum any fiber surfaces. You're going to want to take the bedding and put it in the high heat dryer for 30 minutes. And anything that can't be vacuumed or can't go in the dryer, you just need to set it aside for 48 hours. Once the bugs are killed off, step away from the housework and start getting those eggs out.
Now, this was something that I was fascinated with looking at some of these pictures. There's a lot of different things that you'd be looking for when you're actually underneath your glasses to be able to see.
Yeah, so we would use a special light and magnifying glasses when we are doing a treatment or when we're in the schools. We do have a school team that goes out to camp schools and daycares. So we will use magnifying and special lighting and do the tickle thing, as you said, and that really helps us to see
these little creatures.
Yeah, mostly the eggs that, if I may point out, are so tiny on a hair shaft that's quite hard for parents to see with the naked eye. Therefore, when we do the head checks in schools, we would use special equipment so that we would be sure not to miss anything and everybody gets a correct diagnosis.
There's a lot of work to be done, and especially too as the kids are heading back to school, this is when it gets a little bit busier.
It is. It's the busiest time of year for lice. September, October, back to school is always the busiest season.
So the thing that you want to do if you get the call is to get in contact with the Lice Squad, licesquad.com, and be able to get the initial treatments to you and then get on it right away. Of course, there's lots of other products too that are available. Some that you say you want to make sure that you are getting the right one, so get the information from you. We have run out of time, but I want to get that information out, licesquad.com, if you're looking for more information, and of course getting the services so that you can get to the root of the issue right away.
The root.